All right, man, we back. Appreciate all the love and support. Let's talk some NFL. And y'all know I'm not doing the picks no more, man. So wanted to get enough views, so I'm not going to waste my time doing the picks. But if you want the picks, maybe I'll post them in the community tab. We got Big Mason with us today, man. He want to go back to sleep. Let me go back to sleep. It's snowy day in the D. But yeah, let's talk about New Orleans Saints and Sean Payton comments on Jameis Winston's status as, being the starting quarterback with the Saints. But first, let's start out with the Bay Area boy, Marcus Peters. Apparently, allegedly, he spit at Jarvis Landry, and him and Jarvis Landry, Odell Beckham got some beef with Marcus Peters. Let's talk about it. Hit that subscribe button, bell icon button, share the video. Appreciate the love, support. Once again, don't forget to check out the NFL playlist for more videos like this. And yeah, apparently he was on the team little jet or a private plane saying that without his mask on. He said F the mask rule. He was saying that he referred to Jarvis Landry and Odell Beckham as sisters, as girlfriends, as females. And he basically said that Jarvis Landry ain't do nothing because he didn't have his sister Odell Beckham out there, and he implied that they was gay. And at the end of the day, they do have those tendencies, but then again, that's just the man of the 21st century, at least of the last 10 years going into the 2010s. That's just how they is, man, with the blonde hair, with the sassiness, twerking and dancing. And, Jarvis Landry just as fruity as Odell. Odell just a little fruitier because Odell got a bigger brand just for bigger catches and just having a bigger personality. And, yeah, I definitely like a real dude from the Bay Area. Like Marcus Peters definitely ain't gonna never accept the sassiness and the young thug-ish of Odell Beckham and Jarvis Landry. But then again, he got his contract, and I'll put it on the screen. And Jarvis Landry basically said something that he didn't like. I think it was like nice or good or whatever. And, he been beefing with them ever since. And the Baltimore Ravens blew him out week 1. Came back and beat him on like a 50-something yard or 46-yard field goal in the cold in Cleveland from Justin Tucker. And, at the end of the day, he got beef with him. And Odell could have been out there. Baker Mayfield just not a good quarterback. Can people just not realize that, man? What he threw like one touchdown like Monday night? He can't get the job done. He kind of been fighting for his job, but he just don't have the arm or just don't have the talent or the height just to be a good quarterback, man. And most people just can't realize that. But, Odell is just a pussy. Straight up and down. I wouldn't want Odell up in my foxhole crying because he got traded to Cleveland after forcing his way out to New York. Who you thought you was in the NBA, bro? Cuz thought he was in the NBA. He really thought he was in the NBA. He thought he was going to get the pick where he go trade. No, they was trading you to Cleveland, fool. You weren't about to get to go to L.A. or get to go to New England with Tom Brady. They was trading you to L.A. You went on national television, ESPN, and threw Dave King, Eli Manning under the bus. What he thought it was. Then I'm just not emotionally ready to play and to stay in Cleveland. Like, dude. Was your daddy around, dude? Did he punch you in the chest? Like, this dude is just, like, he be on his period. Like, Jarvis Landry, I ain't got no problem with him. But then again, he ain't been putting up no numbers since he came from Miami. And that's because of Baker primarily. But he just, good slot receiver, but he just ain't going to get the opportunities with Baker. And, Marcus Peters, like, he a real dude. Remember the time when he went up in the stands and he was when the Rams was playing at the Coliseum and he checked the dude, was talking shit to him. He said, "Where you from, homie?" He said, "Talk that shit now." And the dude like, he was security. You're not supposed to be up here. You ain't gonna be able to talk reckless. You at the Coliseum, dude. That's like a high school stadium. You could walk right up to the rafters, and that's what he did. And apparently, I'm not sure where the beef originated from. Was it from the Twitter or whatever? But then again, they are division rivals. They are. But I respect Marcus Peters more than those two guys. And this is just simply from a statistical point of view from Jarvis Landry. But as a man, don't no real man respect Odell Beckham doing all that twerking. And that's, if you want to do that, cool. But strike 2 and 3, I'm not emotionally ready to play in Cleveland. He was just acting like a bitch, dude. Like, that dude is just like, if you ask me to kind of paint you a picture of the ideal man that's popular and what women want now, it's Odell. A guy that can twerk, the guy that's sassy, a guy that's borderline gay. Like, all that shit. Remember he smacked the security guard on the butt after the LSU game? He's trying to... This dude is just a weird dude. And I don't understand the dudes of the day. The kids of the day. And I ain't trying to understand them. You know what I'm saying? Like Will Smith said, maybe parents just don't understand. But let's move on. Sean Payton, okay. And there are a cry for Jameis to come in after the performance Taysom Hill put on versus the Eagles. It's only one game. But the thing about Taysom Hill real quick, teams are now starting to get film on what he can do well and what he can't do well. That's just the real 4-1-1 with Taysom Hill. So more film get on him, the more he gonna have to make adjustments, and the more he gonna have to work on doing things that he may not be good at doing. And that might be fitting the ball in tight holes, to be able to shut down the run, throwing the ball in timing routes, throwing the ball outside the numbers. So now teams are getting more film on Taysom, what he can and what he can't do. And after a while, they're going to take that run stuff away and make you beat him from the pocket. And that's the honest truth about Taysom Hill. It's just that the league is now starting to see more film. They hadn't seen film with Taysom Hill. They hadn't seen film with Taysom Hill, consistently taking snaps from the quarterback position. There's only so many things that Sean Payton can do to cover up his deficiencies. But basically the players was calling him for the start over Taysom Hill. And the only reason Taysom Hill got to start over Jameis is simply because he was getting paid more. And then also, now Sean Payton made the comments that Jameis Winston can compete for the starting quarterback job as soon as Jameis Winston leave. As soon as Drew Brees leave. I'm like, damn, he can't even if Drew Brees don't come back this season for whatever reason, or he get injured again, God willing he will, and never play another snap. But there's nor here nor there. If he don't, so you're basically telling me that Jameis has no opportunity to start this year unless Taysom Hill get injured. And that's not fair. But they only do that to black quarterbacks. And I ain't trying to make this a black and a white thing, but ask Drew Brees about it. But they only do that to us. Taysom Hill ain't no good quarterback. He getting by off the Gidget and guys. Watch him throw the ball. Ain't nothing pretty about it. He ain't no quarterback. Tim Tebow was more of a quarterback than Taysom Hill. But that's just the hand that Jameis dealt. And now people saying that it necessarily wasn't Jameis Winston's fault. Tom Brady is going through the same struggles in Tampa that Jameis did. He had better weapons than Jameis. He got Antonio Brown. He got Tristan Wirfs at right tackle, which Jameis didn't have last year. And since week 4 or something like that, he's been graded as the best right tackle, the best right tackle on Pro Football Focus in the NFL. Tom Brady got a better defense. Why shouldn't Jameis get another chance? Now we're saying that it wasn't Jameis' fault in Cleveland. It's just that Byron Leftwich and primarily Bruce Arians just want to throw a lot of 5 and 7 step drops and go down the field. They don't know how to go short or set up the run and then go down the field. So, and maybe this is something that he relayed to Jameis, and he sat down. It's up to Jameis. Jameis has some opportunities next year, with Matthew Stafford. Check out my Detroit channel, Mercy Sports Talk, right here on YouTube. What if Matthew Stafford leave? He might have an opportunity to start in Detroit. But it's a lot of quarterbacks he'd be competing with. Possibly Cam. They said 5 touchdowns and 10 interceptions this year. Jesus. Cam, Dwayne Haskins might be out there. Jimmy Garoppolo might be out there. There's going to be a lot of quarterbacks that he may be competing with. Maybe Jacoby Brissett. There's going to be a lot of quarterbacks that he may be competing with to get out there. So, if he chooses to want to wait and learn under Sean Payton, get his footwork together, improve mechanics, learn the playbook and stay in New Orleans, and wait for Drew Brees to retire, which Drew Brees, at any given moment, he could be done. Drew Brees shouldn't even be in the NFL no more. He ain't got the arm. But, it could be next year. It could be 2 years. What if Drew Brees want to be Tom Brady and stay 3 or 4 years? Simple as that. They're not going to get rid of Drew Brees neither. And that's what he got to understand. So, Jameis got to do what's best for him. If he's staying in New Orleans, allow him to improve his arm and his footwork and his accuracy, then do it. But if you don't believe you got an honest shot to starting that quarterback, and they want to say Taysom Hill the guy, leave. But then again, how many teams going to want to give Jameis a chance? And it's because Jameis black. If Jameis was white, Pittsburgh would have picked him up. If Jameis was white, he'd be in New York competing with Daniel Jones. Jameis has been dealt a wrong hand. Kyle Shanahan may take a look at him next year, but then again, he black. When you black, either you got to be elite quarterback or quarterback, or you got to change position. So let me know what you guys think about Marcus Peters. I will put the video of him talking to Jung, but he was cussing too much. And they had music playing in the background. I'm a target on YouTube. But hey, don't forget to find us on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter. You can reach out if you have a business question, inquiry, sponsor, video request. All my social media links in the description. Fastest way to reach me is Twitter, then Facebook, then Instagram. We also got a Facebook group. So if you have a business question, you want to chop it up, video request, my social media links is always open. Get back at you at my earliest convenience. Want to make a donation to the channel? Cash App CJ Good 313. That's in the description. PayPal link in the description as well too. Appreciate the love, support. One time for the one time. Goodfellas Sports TV, and don't forget to check out our NFL playlist. We gone.